Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our May 31st AI Visionaries Network AI for Breakfast live call. I'm Champ Bobbitt. This is Steve Bayonne. And today we're going to be diving into the transformative world of AI agents. These autonomous systems are not just reshaping industries, they are redefining the very fabric of our daily operations and decision-making processes. So without further ado, Steve, floor is yours, brother. Talk to him.
Appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for showing up this morning. All right. So listen, we have officially entered a new era. All right. So we no longer need to know how to code, design, or hire a developer to bring ideas to life. All right. If you guys were on the Dot Connect the other day when I was sharing a project I had in New York years ago, and actually the project was from 2002, not 2008. So this is going back to 2001, 2002. So we're talking about a while ago. All right. So I've been at this for a little bit. And I'm still digging up like old business ideas I had, only because they can still work 25, 30 years later. Like it's unbelievable the stuff that I'm finding. And then I'll start to share these things with you guys, maybe separately on inside the academy and a dashboard and stuff, just so you can kind of see where I was at the time. All right. So now that we're entering this phase, it's one of those. Here's my core message, and this is what we're gonna run with. If you can imagine it, you can describe it, and you can break it down, an AI agent can build it. All right, this is where we're at right now. Now, if you know a lot of the projects that I had back in those days, the one thing that I didn't have my pulse on was the coding part. All right, I went to school for computer science. I didn't do nothing. Nothing. I think at the time it might have been like C plus or whatever the coding language was. But when you're in coding, what I learned really quick was, and this is where college just isn't really a thing for a lot of things. You spend 4 years learning this particular language, right? Or in this curriculum. And then every year there's an advancement in the language, right? So I remember working with this kid. I worked at Harold Square in Macy's back in the day, right? Polo to be exact. Just so you understand, a big Ralph Lauren fashion guy. So there was a kid I worked with, and we built a relationship, coworker. And I remember him um, taking these certification courses. You know, he worked at Macy's part time, and he was going to school full time. And I was like, "Yo, what's up with these courses or whatever?" And he was kind of putting me onto it. So I'm like, "Hold on, so you don't need a 4 year degree to effectively learn how to code?" He was like, "Nah, you go for certifications because the technology, the language is constantly advancing, right? So you get the certification in this, then you get the certification in that, then you start adding more to your bag." So that was the first thing that I didn't know about. Now, the next thing I had a job way back in undergrad, and there was a guy that used to come in and he'd be at the gym. You might see him for lunch, and then he's out. So I used to ask, I'm like, "Yo, what's this dude's role?" It's like he doesn't work. So he offered he was a coder and he was helping the company. I don't even forget what company I was working for, but his job was to help with the back end and the coding stuff. So if something happened, this dude literally might have worked 30 minutes to an hour a day, if that. And then he was out, jumped in his Porsche, gone. So come to find out, it was the language that the company was converting to. There wasn't too many people that knew how to do that job in that position, so he was super valuable, right? And if I had to guess, this guy probably worked for other people because he came in and came out, right? So now fast forward to this AI, the age of AI agent. I picked up a program called Replit, which I'll share the link with you guys, and you guys can sign up. There's incentives if you use the link that I provide to you guys. So this was something that my wife found through a talk on YouTube that she watched, where the guys were talking about how the entire job market is going to be wiped out within 4 to 5 years, right? So it's a panel of like AI experts, and one of the guys was the owner of Replit. I'll drop that too. So, Champ, if you have that YouTube link, uh, that'd be great.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I want you guys to watch that. It's about 2.5 hours. I've watched it twice already. Just make sure I didn't want to miss anything. So here we are. If you can imagine it, you can describe it, you can break it down, the AI agent can build it. This is where we're at. So now I'm working on the first of many projects, right? And the first project is going to be a crypto portfolio app, right? With a bunch of things that I know can assist us in the process. So when Champ and I were building out these courses, we were giving you other people's apps, right? Referrals. We're not even making any money on referrals with this stuff. It's just like, here, this is what we use. So I'm just like, I'm kind of tired of it. Let's teach by example, right? And that's the thing. We've always done this. We've never talked about a project that we didn't invest in. We never talked about a facet of crypto that we didn't have experience in, whether we won or lost. We've been totally transparent. So on the AI side, we have to start spending more time because this is where it's at too, right? So same is said for AI. I'm not going to put something in front of you that I'm not already um, playing with or developing. So now we get a front row seat into watching something come to life, right? Just from an idea. So if you go into the crypto side, you see that we had gave you like pointtracker.io. Champ was using
Delta.
Delta, right? He had put me onto that. These apps turned into like more of um, not only tracking your portfolio but assisting you with taxes, right? That's kind of the angle they went to. And then once they started going that way, I'm just like, this ain't really it. There could be a better way of creating an app, right? And who better to create it than people that's just been working in the industry for the last 10 years that are ground boots on the ground with just students every day, a few times a week at that for hours. So I came up with this list of ideas. I'm also going through my old hard drive with ideas that I had back then, and I'm kind of bringing it all together now. So the first one is going to be this particular app, and I'll share it with you guys in a second. Um, and then I'll share a couple of the other ideas, and I'm going to tell you like kind of where we're going with this platform that we're about to set up now. So hold on a second here. My ADHD is kicking in, man. I got a million windows open. All right. So why are AI agents game changers? Okay. So first thing we have to just define it, guys. Inside of the um your learning in the Visionaries Network, we have a course on AI agents. Just drop a one in the chat if you took it, and drop a two if you didn't take it yet. And just be completely honest, it's not a big deal. Champ, let me know what you're seeing. And that course was like months ago, right?
Yep.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Bunch of twos. We got some ones in there though.
All right, guys, when you're in this group, it just makes sense, right? It's free. So that was the first thing. I wanted to make it affordable.
Hmm.
Now, the issue with free is it doesn't really give you value, right? So now you don't have any skin in the game. So you might just take the shit for granted. We don't have time. I'm giving you the warning now. I don't work for anybody. So I don't need to really be doing this shit like this. All right. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to use AI to my advantage as an entrepreneur who has a skeleton crew. Now I have a multitude of employees at my disposal for cents on the dollar. All right. So don't wait till your job gets cut to then start to dig into this because you're not going to be in the right mindset. You understand? This is the age of creating. This is the age of ownership. This is the age of IP, intellectual property. If you think that you won't have a job, right? Just imagine what opportunities will lie for your children and their children. So if you don't have something creating revenue or generating something to add to this new world, then we're getting back to the useful and useless situation now. I can't say it any differently. I've been running with the useful and useless for over 3 years. If those of you who have been listening to the content since the beginning, since I got on the internet, I said there's going to be two classes of people in the future. And this is way before AI agents. This was way before AI was even a conversation back then. We were dealing with the pandemic, right? So you got visionaries at your disposal. I'm here to send messages. I'm starting to realize this. I'm not like a teacher. I'm more of a prophet, right? Just giving you guys messages, whether you pick it up or don't. That's on y'all. But I'm telling you, please, please, for the sake of your future and everybody that's attached to that lineage, cut the shit. You know what I'm saying? These companies will cut you in a minute. I will cut my staff if I had to, right? We're entering a point where like remedial work is not like that's you don't even like doing the remedial work stuff. Somebody to come in every day to work to do the same thing every day, every day, every day. You just pretty much stealing money, man. You're on borrowed time at this point now. They are looking at the bottom line. Things are getting tighter, and the first thing you do is you start to cut what's inefficient. You start to you allow the most efficient employees work alongside of the AI. So I looked at Gary V the other day. He posted something. He has like 65 employees. They do about $350 million a year. 350 a year. This is what he's doing. He's not looking to cut employees. What he's doing is he's bringing AI on to assist the employee in their tasks to then let the employee become more creative in what they need to do. Right. That's his model. He's also not hiring new people either. Okay. 65 people, 350 million. The more AI becomes efficient for his vertical, the more money that people make within his company. He splits it up into two groups. He has the architects, and he's like, those guys are going to make the most money. They have the most value, right? These are the guys with the with the vision and the
Yep.
ideas. You can't replace the architect. AI needs instruction. I haven't met an AI yet that can just go. Shit
Yep.
is idle until you start to talk to it. All right. The architect is just that. You're the guy speaking into it. We're all architects, right? You have to believe that. We're all architects. We all have an idea. We all thought of something. And anytime that thought comes to mind, what do? Just kind of put it down, right? I don't think I could do it. We come up with all these excuses. And listen, I was there. I went to school for coding. I didn't take it serious. I came up with a whole bunch of ideas. They took them from me. Whatever. The internet wasn't fully built. There wasn't Fiverr. You couldn't meet coders from across the world that could save you money. It was like, yo, you had to hire an American company and you were getting killed, right? Now we fast forward to where we're at today, and it's like I told you guys a couple years ago. I said, listen, there's a couple majors. If you're going to send kids to school, it's philosophy, psychology, understanding human behavior, right? It's not any one particular English is one. It's not one particular. I wouldn't send a child to school for 4 years for a certificate in something for a specific industry. So when you start to go into psychology, like Money Mike would be perfect for this world, right? Studying human behavior. You understand? Um, and I think where the opportunity lies for us is the culture is always so far behind in information that we can take it upon ourselves to build things that are relevant for the culture because those guys don't really think for us. What tends to happen is we got to kind of acquiesce to whatever they build. And the reason that it never really has us in mind is because if you're building something, of course there's gonna be inherent biases in all of it, right? I might say a word that might offend an Asian person because I just don't know. This is why you need as many people at the table as possible. Okay. Um, so representation is important. All right. Now, let's get into it. The AI agents are basically digital assistants that operate autonomously based on goals. All right. They can code, they can solve problems, they can answer questions, they can even manage multi step workflows. All right. Now, we shift from manual labor to idea leverage. All right. So basically, you used to need a development team to build. Now you need a well phrased prompt and an agent. Understand? So now you no longer need these a development team. Remember, the development team was also taking instruction from who? An architect,
Architect.
right? This didn't change. The premise of it is the same. You can't replace the architect. And if they say they can, then I'm telling you that we're doomed at that point, right? This is like man versus machine shit, or machine versus man. So here are some real world examples. An AI agent can help designers build a portfolio site in less than 30 minutes. Um, Not the one I'm working on though. Like I'm putting in some hours on this. Um, a real estate agent uses AI to create like a custom client dashboard. A solo entrepreneur launches a web tool in 48 hours. So I was talking to one of the students the other day, and he can decide if he wants to tell you whatever. I'm not going to divulge in what he's looking to work on. But when he gave me his idea, I said it's perfect. He's in the industry. Um, he's using other people's apps, and he's finding right from the feedback that he's getting from his customers that I wish it was like this. I wish it was like that. Then he tells me he's on the email with the app, and they're just taking his information and basically not updating the app, right? Because there's probably a whole lot of data that comes in. Development companies may not know or have their ear to the ground well enough, right? So now he's like, you know what? I'm just going to build one myself. And I'm like, now you're talking. Okay. Now, with that, even if you're in the company, I find it easier for me to market for other people than to market for myself at times, right? And what do I mean by that? When I'm in it, I'm like, it's my company. I'm too far in it. I'm dealing with everything, right? When I'm working for someone or with someone, it's I don't have the pressures of the day to day with that person's company. I'm not worried about payroll and this and that and all the things that come with running a vertical like this. So I can give you the best of what I have, and it's really just always just this imagination, right? Just things come to me. It doesn't matter what the product is. I'm a person that's constantly analyzing the way things are done. Why is that sidewalk 8 inches? Why is, like I'm always running things through my mind when I'm out and about. Okay. So I'm able to look at things. And here's the thing too. When you're running a company, you don't ever really want to take advice from like people who's done it before. That's part of it, right? I like to bring in guys who have a fresh eye that don't know anything about shit because you can gain something from that person. And this is how I learned from you guys when you guys are sending us emails and this doesn't work, that doesn't work, or even if it's not the feedback, I can read through it because you just need a problem solved. And I tell Champ all the time, like, listen, we're not here to solve one person's problem. We're here to solve many. So if Wayne hits us about one thing and Wayne's done this, I'm like, Wayne, give us some screenshots. And then he sends it. And then next thing you know, there's an email and something that's formulated. And if we don't have a patch, we're going to bring the message out because it's not an isolated situation for Wayne. It's one that is for the entire group. So you have to learn how to 1000x problems. I tell Champ all the time, like, yeah, you could fix the problem, but listen, we gotta close this shit up. So what if you had to do this 1,000 times with 1,000 customers? He's like, nah, that wouldn't be good. I'm like, all right, so that's our approach. So what we do is we start to automate problems. The way we solve problems is automated. So I guess I'm an AI agent also. I've been one. All right. Now let's keep flowing. All right. So AI agents can write scripts and emails. They can build and test code in real time. They can scrape data and generate reports. They can translate ideas into functioning tools. Okay. So this is the new co-founder that you don't have to pay equity to. See where I'm going? All right. So write this down, guys, if you have a pen and paper. There, and you'll have to replay anyway, but there is a imagination loop framework. All right. It's a 5-step method to bring your idea to life with AI with the least amount of resources. This is going to be important right now. Whether you rock with me on this in the future or you don't, take this framework right here. Number one is imagine. All right. So visualize a solution you wish existed. What problem does it solve? What does it serve? Got it? Number two, break it down. Identify the key features the user needs, inputs and outputs. Number three, prompt the AI. Give ChatGPT or another agent the problem in a simple language and ask it to generate code and content or structure. Okay. Number four is review and refine. Ask the AI to explain the code, fix errors, improve UX, okay, or update instructions quickly. All right. Deploy and share. Publish via Replit, Notion, Framer, Webflow, or a platform of your choice. So I just gave you guys a bunch of different platforms. We are using Replit right now. All right. Share with your audience and collect feedback. All right. So AI lets you go from an idea to prototype faster than before. Execution is no longer your bottleneck. Clarity is. All right. You have to be clear on what you want. You feel me? Now, I'm going to go through a live demo process of an app that I'm currently building right now. All right. So I'm showing you this is a concept. It's a crypto dashboard app for managing your portfolio manually. We're adding news and alerts, and every day I'm coming up with some other shit. This is why I'm probably driving this thing crazy right now. All right. So Replit is what we're using. I'm going to share the screen with you. I'm going to give you guys the actual uh, I'm going to give you guys my link for you to sign up for Replit. And guys, it's cheap on the monthly. And there's a free option. You just won't be able to see things, but trust me, at 25 a month, like it's kind of worth the squeeze if you have an idea. But don't worry about the ideas. We'll get to that point. I'm gonna drop it in the chat, and then I'm gonna share screen. I got share screen capabilities, champ.
Yep, you golden.
All right, cool. Here it is, guys. No gatekeeping on this side at all. I'm being fully transparent. And this shit's going to YouTube live. We should have tested the YouTube live, but this is going to YouTube too, so it's going to live. I'm not worried about competitors.
Yeah.
I've never been. Just not in my nature. All right. Everybody see the screen?
Yep, you golden.
All right. Some of this shit out the way. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. Everybody have the, and if you're watching this on a playback, the link to Replit for the referral code is going to be in the description in whatever platform we're looking at. Now I got to kind of speak in like future terms. All right. So this is the crypto dashboard. That's not the name, or crypto dash. That's not the name. Um, One of the things I was big on was I want to make this an international app. So this is where I think most people are going to fail in not having a broad. You need a you need a you need a vision, right? So if I'm looking to deploy this app and I'm only thinking about America, then I'm losing the fact that there is all these other currencies around the world and they can benefit from this, right? The other thing too is when you're looking at this, depending on the time of day, you got to have day and night vision, right? Especially for me with these eyes. All right, so for now, we're going to go with light. Now, this is the dashboard. It's going to calculate your portfolio, your total gains and losses, your active holdings. You can set price alerts. This is big, right? So now you can keep an eye on certain things. If this gets above 10%, it's going to push a notification to your phone. If this goes below, you have real live market prices right now. Your holdings will go here. I have a watch list, and then I have a RSS feed with news and alerts. Now, I ran across a big issue with the with APIs. All right. Before we go there, let me just because there might be some terminology, and you guys might be on some like, what is he talking about right now? So I don't want y'all confused. So, what is an API? An API is an application programming interface. Write that down. API, application programming interface. All right. So it's a set of rules and protocols that allow different software applications to communicate with each other. It acts as an intermediary, enabling the exchange of data and functionality between applications. This is important. Now, let me show you something. So when you're pulling data, I'm going to share this with you guys too. When you're pulling data from different companies, right? So CoinMarketCap being one of them. Look how much this shit costs every month. It goes from free all the way to $6.99 a month. And then if you need more features and data, you have to call them. It's an enterprise situation. $6.99 a month. And that's for a yearly. If you go month to month, $8.75. And this is all their data endpoints. This is 3 million calls and credits per month, all-time historical data. And this is for commercial use. You understand? So I don't want y'all to think like oh, this is going to be easy and it's going to be cheap. It depends on what you're deploying. You're going to have to use someone who has the data. And this is the behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize how these companies make money. So we're on CoinMarketCap for free, right? It's a whole bunch of tools and stuff like that. Then you're like, well, how are they making money? Trust me, they got a ton of verticals back there, and this is one of them. And you could pay them to list your shit too, just so you know. So don't trust everything that's on there. Um, so now I'm going through the news aggregate, right? So this is where I need to source the news from. So what's the one place that we told you can go? Crypto Panic,
Yep.
right? Let me share what Crypto Panic costs. This is crazy. You just wouldn't even imagine how much you could dump on this stuff monthly, but I'm gonna show you a pivot around all of this stuff. All right, so we got CoinDesk, we have Coin. Oh, let me show you this one. I'm just sharing with you guys API now. So if you want to build something robust, you're gonna have to play the game a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna do my whole desktop because this is too much. All right, so this is CoinGecko, $4.99 a month, $1,000 a month. This is for you to use their data points and sets. And mind you, depending when they talk about 1,000 rate limit per minute, depending on how many people you have on your app, that might not work for you, right? Because people might be consuming that information quicker. All right. So now we have Crypto Panic. This is a news aggregator. Crypto Panic's actually aggregating from a bunch of different news sources. Okay. So they have an API also. And where am I at with the price? Hmm. Hmm. I'll get back to their pricing. Token metrics. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, decrypt. All right. So what I did was when I realized that the price of admission was a little high on the monthly, uh, monthly, I said, you know what? Let me find a pivot. So there's this thing called RSS feeds, right? So you're basically able to pull news through a bunch of different news aggregators through an RSS feed, and that gave me the ability to have access to more news, right? That was more open source than having to go to one place. That's basically doing the same thing. You understand? But you would only know this if you're an architect, right? Because if not, you would stop. You would say, "Damn, hold on, $1,000 for Coin Market Cap, and then I also need CoinGecko, right? You got to get the real time pricing from somebody." So by the time I finished, I was looking at like $3,000, $4,000 a month. So I'm like, that's not really feasible. So I didn't stop, right? I continued and I found a workaround for certain aspects of it. But there are APIs that I am going to pay for in this app. So you have your portfolio, right? This is where you can put your holdings in. You can do it manually, or you can link. We'll get to that part. You have your watch list. So now I'm paying attention to some of this stuff. Don't worry, pricing will come in. Still working out some stuff. You have your wallets. This is key. This is where shit. There was an issue with the wallets. Anyway, you're going to be able to link your cold storage and your cold and hot wallets, exchanges, and all things. So you'll be able to link that stuff through the use of APIs and wallet addresses to calculate what your holdings are. So now you don't have to really log into. My biggest issue is Decent, SafePal, and all the different wallets that we may have. You got to kind of go to each one individually. So now we're looking to build a home site that will allow you to see everything on this one dashboard, along with all the other things that I talked about. And the wallet page just kind of threw me off. Hold on. Page is blank. This person works for me 24/7 too, guys. All times of the night and day. That's another good part, right? Because if you had a developer, if they're in a different country, different time zone, you're cooked. There is no communication. All right. So as that refreshes, I'll just keep talking. Um, yeah, no labor laws. I like that. The AI might start to ask for some of that stuff. But yeah, no labor laws. That's a good one. Okay. Um, I'll just keep going. So one of the things I wanted to do outside of that, because there's apps like this. What's going to make this thing stand apart? Right? That's the question you have to ask. So I'll have a free version and I'll have a paid vertical. Now, free version, you might get one or two integrations, meaning your wallets, right? Paid version, you have access to unlimited wallets. Okay. Free version, you might have some news here and there. Paid version, you have a robust, you have more news at your disposal. Free version, no price alert. Paid version, price alerts. Now, what's going to make it stand apart? I started working on this learning center now. Okay. The biggest thing with the academy is really on ramping new students. So I'm like, you know what? Let this be a learning app that's in the free version. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you how to build $1 million business right now. Let's say, and this is global. Let's say we 10,000 users, 10,000 free users, right? In the 10,000 free users, they're going to go to the learning center. That's free for them to use. This is where we're going to be building out what is cryptocurrency, what is blockchain, just courses similar to what we gave you guys, but just shorter, easier to digest. We're going to be using AI agents for that. And why is that important? Because you see all those country uh, that we're working with, we're going to make sure that our work is transcribed in that company language also. So when they click on to what is crypto, they can also say, hey, I want it in Chinese Mandarin, I want it in, Japanese, I want it in
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
See where I'm going with this? And then we could also use the agent to give them someone that's a little bit appealing to them. Not that, Champ and I ain't even getting caught up in that. But what I do know is people like to look at things. So whether it's a female, a male, a white male, or like the Spanish, like it will be based on that nationality. I see where I'm going with this? Now, if they want to take the lessons any deeper, we can also even integrate paid courses within the app there on a monthly basis. Now if they went to the paid, they will have more access to a deeper learning. All right. So now let's talk about this. So we got 10,000 free people nationwide on this. Now, not only can you build your portfolio here, but it's also a teaching platform in multi languages and multi countries. I'm just using a small number. It's 10,000, right? So 10,000, let's say they bump up and we charge $5, 50,000 a year. Okay. That's for the app. Now, let's say within the learning app, if you wanted to unlock more learning, that might be another $5 a month. So now that brings us up to 100,000 a month in revenue. All right. So 100,000 a month in revenue times 12 months is $1.2 million. I'm building $1 million business with this app right here. It's 10,000 nationwide. But I'm also able to utilize Meta in how I disseminate the information worldwide. I can translate in different languages now, something that we couldn't really do before without a whole lot of things. And again, this is slim and trim. We don't have to spend a lot of money. It's really just I need architects now. Um, so I just showed you guys a vertical of how to make $1 million app with just 10,000 users. Now let's think about this. If we have about 8 to 9% of the global population involved in crypto, and we know that the education piece is the most important part, I don't care about the $50 a month situation. They're not going to get the robust stuff that we give you in the academy. We're going to keep this thing pretty simple to help them. And then on top of that, we could assist them in projects. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to go to the projects and we're going to build relationships. You understand? So now the projects could even subsidize learning because what are people going to do when we do a breakdown project of VeChain and we have a relationship with VeChain? They're probably going to invest in VeChain, right? So now we have another revenue stream where we're working with the projects and listen, you gotta pay. We got users, right? And this isn't one of those where it's like it's a meme coin is going to give me 10,000. I'm gonna be doing backflips and shit and twerking. Nah, I'm not doing that. We're talking about like things that I actually believe in. And it's not up to me to say you invest in it. I'm just highlighting and showcasing something. When you go to Coinbase and Binance, you see they got learning centers.
Yep.
How you think they make money off of that? That's the behind the scenes that y'all don't see. So I'm letting y'all in on something. This really is $100 million app at the end of the day. What do you think this thing could be sold for? Right.
Billy
That,
Goat.
that's how you make the money. I'm telling you, anybody that's sitting on big cash has done one or two things: created a tech company, sold a tech company. That's what I'm in the business to do. I'm in the business to create a tech company and sell a tech company. I'm gonna get to it. It's about to get good. Yeah, I woke up to the right shit this morning. I'm gonna tell you that now. Cause I couldn't sleep last night thinking about this shit. All right, where am I at? All right, so we're here. Why do we still need humans? All right, so AI doesn't understand your market. It doesn't understand your customers' pain points. My timing. I don't know if many people could rock with my timing. It can't be with me every day. I don't know how he does it. Um, business experience equals knowing what to build, when to build, how to monetize, right? Most beginners don't fail because of bad tech. They fail because they build the wrong thing and launch with no strategy. So that's why mentorship and real world experience matters. Okay. So AI can build a house. I'll help you design the blueprint and make sure, that it's in the right neighborhood. I see where I'm going with this. You need an architect. You need many architects. I need architects. This is why I'm bringing you guys into the fold. This is why you don't hold shit near to your heart and like, oh, somebody's gonna take it. Like, no, it's a free market, man. So what if you took it, right? Money Mike Wayne, I need y'all back on the screen. Classes in session. Appreciate that. I got you. I got you. All right. That's the accountability piece. All right. So now I'm going to introduce to you guys what we're about to do. So it is called the AI Builders Circle. Okay. This is where we launch, build, and scale with AI. All right. This is a new group that we're forming. So guys, here's the thing. When I told you at the top of the year that I'm no longer like being stuck in like non-implementing things and teaching roles of one-on-one and all that other stuff, I'm like, nah, I gotta get to this bag now. Right. This is what we're all in business for. Okay. I've done enough philanthropy. Is that how you say it?
Yep. Spot on.
Yeah, spot on. I've done enough of that. Right. I'm kind of tired of that. All right. I need to like this is my last push in the digital world. After this, once I sell the first company or maybe the fifth company, because they're all going to be back to back, I'm done. I'm done innovating. I'm done motivating. I'm done. Well, maybe not motivating. I always want to motivate, but
Oh,
I don't want to be in front of a computer screen all day. That I can tell you. Okay, I'm over that. I'm over this light that's in front of me. I'm over this blue screen. I'm over these glasses. I'm just over it. I just want to chill. All right. So what I'm looking to build here, and I'm still working it out. All right. So don't hold me to all of this stuff. But weekly live coaching calls, sessions to walk through members and projects. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out like once you get into this group, and guys, I'm not doing a free group. I'm telling you this now. I'm not. This is an actual real live incubator. Even the student that was telling me about his particular app that he was working on, I had a million ideas, and he has no clue because what he was telling me, I'm just like, man, you have no clue where you can go with this, right? Even when I gave him a couple of the ideas I had, I'm like, well, why limit it to this one market when you could have this market, that market, that market, that market? Now you went from a million customers, you went from one customer, which was you, to many customers, which are people like you, to more customers, which are people that are similar to you, right? You start to expand on it. So I didn't stop at the US. I went to Germany. I went to France. I went to, I went everywhere. Okay. Now, just know when I start opening up these markets in these other countries, now I got access to those borders and I have new relationships globally now. What else do you think opens from that? That's the part. You got to have expansive mindset when you're an architect, right? There's no limitations to what an architect can do. None. Okay? So we're building a team of architects at the end of the day. All right. Now we have you're gonna get help crafting better AI prompts. You're gonna get guidance on deploying the app products. Okay. Um, we'll start to create some templates for prompt writing and landing pages and funnels. Um, this is going to be a community of doers who are building, launching, and earning. Okay. Now, the monetization part of it, this has to be worked out because I'm gonna let y'all know there's going to be a company set up for this. There's going to be an opportunity for everybody to join in on the first product, which is going to be the dashboard. All right. So if I'm showing you 1.2 million and I'm telling you that this thing, they buy on multiples of tens. Understand what I'm saying? So easily you can get a $10 million valuation on that. Cash out, let's go. You understand? So I'm being modest at 1.2 million. I'm looking for this to be like my first $100 million generating idea. Like that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not asking for too much on that. All right. So if I bought in a group of architects, right? If I bought in a group of and even if you're not an architect, right, it doesn't matter because you guys have given me enough. I build things with for everybody in mind. So I make sure that it fits for everybody, right? I always tell champ, simplify, 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 simplify. Because if the simplest person could understand it, then I think we did a good job with it and we don't have to like talk over people, right? There's a time and place for that. This is what our counterparts do. They make it almost like seem impossible for people to like do things. They're not here to breathe life into people. They're here to really dominate. So if we as a collective create a DAO or any sort of uh, corporate structure, right? And then we have our rules, and then we have our roles, right? And then we have whatever investments we come in, whether it be an NFT or cash, whichever one. Because we got to get this. I got to get this deployed now, right? We're at 9% of the world population involved in cryptocurrency. We know that the education piece is needed. We know that it's not being done correctly. We know that we're probably the ones doing it the absolute best in market. Okay. We know that we could also scale it. 300 and something students is not a lot of students, guys. You understand? It's okay, but it's not a lot. Everybody needs this. So as the integrations of crypto start to become everyday part of our everyday lives, which we're seeing it with the stablecoin regulations, we're seeing it within the next month. You're going to start to see banks selling custodying Bitcoin. You're going to start to see institutional products wrapped around DeFi. It is starting. It is starting. So the money is yes, you could have a good portfolio and you can make some money, but I'm telling you, there's no money like tech money. There's no money like selling a technology company. We've seen it. We've seen the numbers. They buy it even when the shit ain't working. They're dumb. They just don't want to miss out. So they have FOMO too. Their FOMO is a different bag. It's in the billions. You understand? So I need some of that. I want it. I'm going to have it. All right. But I'm also going to bring people into the opportunity in the fold. Okay. The app I'm working on, there's time involved in it. It's not all free work, right? And on top of it, we got to get some of these APIs. We might have to get some enterprise APIs. So there's going to have to be some cash inflow, and then we're going to have to market and advertise um, to get this thing global. Okay, so there are this ain't like an easy feat. So this is why I'm bringing more people into the mix and into the fold. So that's the first of its kind. All right, that's separate. Now um, the AI builder circle, that's going to be the group that is going to launch, build, and scale with AI. So you only make the investment in this if you feel that you have an idea. Don't worry about if the idea is fully worked out. This is where you have at your disposal an architect. I happen to know one. I happen to know one. All right. So we get inside this group, we set the framework for it. Everybody has to come with an idea. All right. If y'all want to sign non-competes, go ahead and put one in and do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I ain't signing shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving you guys any of my situations. I'm not doing it. And a non-compete is only as good as how far you're willing to go in court. Because if I'm sitting on tens of millions, this was done to me. I lost the company. Somebody stole it from me, an investor I had. I probably told you guys a story, but took me to federal court in New York. And it's like on the walk-in, you're spending 10,000 on an attorney. You could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars before anything happens. It wasn't about right or wrong. It's just about who got the deepest pocket. So I've been through that, and that ain't it, man. If you want to take it, go ahead and take it, man. I'm not looking to fuck with anybody's life at this point now. You know what I mean? I just know that karma's undefeated and it'll just handle itself. And at the end of the day, shit, you can't see what I see. So I'm firm in what I could bring to the table. So, burn that bridge if you want. No problem. And trust me, there's going to be spooks in the room for sure. You know what I'm saying? All good. I rarely have people that bring me opportunity, right? But I could tell you that this year there's been so much falling on my lap. Camille, thank you. Right? Regardless of if it works or not, it's opportunity. It's always a one-way communication in my world for the most part. And I'm not complaining about that. You know what I'm saying? I just know it's just my time now. I have to effectively take what I want at this point now, not just sit amongst the crowd all goddamn day, which is cool, but I'm I don't want to do that like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm gonna sit alongside a group, it's gonna be a group of innovators. It's gonna be a group of um, even if you're a junior architect, we're all architects. Everybody has an idea. Everybody thought of some shit before, right? So that's what's coming within the next week or so. And so we have what you get: idea and feedback, business valuation, help crafting, prompts. Because that's the thing. If you don't know how to say it, and it's just people are lost for words sometimes. So who's it for? It's for creators who are stuck in the I have an idea, but I don't know where to start. It's for entrepreneurs who want a shortcut to product building, freelancers and consultants who want to use AI to scale services. And basically, it's for somebody that's at work who hates what they do and knows that something is coming and they got to make a change. All right. So if you're ready to build with us, you want to support, you this is what we're here for. All right. Now I'm gonna open this up to some Q&A. I'm gonna leave you with a couple things. AI isn't replacing humans, it's replacing humans without imagination. All right. This is the greatest idea to execution shortcut in human history. What used to take 6 months in a development team could take 6 hours in a prompt. You're not late to the AI game. You're right on time to lead it. Let's talk about it. Champ,
Talk
take
to
us
me.
out so we have a clean click.
As we've explored AI agents today, them being at the very forefront of this technological innovation, driving efficiency and opening new avenues of growth, the great power behind it all comes with great responsibility. It's imperative that each and every one of us, all parties involved, navigate this landscape thoughtfully, with intention, and balance innovation and ethical considerations. So we greatly appreciate you guys tuning in today. Steve, this has been an incredible session, and let's continue to grow and explore and shape this future in AI together.